Hello and welcome to Spring Watch 2026. From myself, Keith, and from
Alan.
Yeah, only joking. Maybe we should have did it. I must admit, Spring Watch wasn't my favourite this year. The wildlife bits are great, but I think it's just getting too much talking in it now. But anyway, welcome to our third podcast, Hide and Seek, Wildlife and Photography, where we will talk, amongst other things, wildlife and photography.
And some controversy.
Yes, and probably some controversial stuff. So, what are we going to talk about this month?
This month we're talking about badgers mostly.
Oh, right. Well, before we get into badgers, is this summer? Because it is bloody freezing and it's wet.
No, it's been terrible summer this year.
It is unbelievable. It's just been non-stop, either rain or cold. A couple of good days, but anyway, hopefully it'll perk up. And I know certainly some of the nest boxes that I've monitored have done really bad this year. The blue tits, great tits, they've all been struggling to get food. And in fact, any who know Alan and the city, you know that we tend to feed some areas. How many kilo of mealworms have you put out this year?
And one small plantation in a month of, I think I'm at 22 kilo now.
22 kilo, yeah.
And the birds are just following me in now, and I'm standing there and they're coming right, red starts, great tits, blue tits, everything. So it's helped a lot because they've all fledged 6 young. So
definitely, and there's a bit that we call the wall where we do the stone chat, wind chat, and things like that. And you know, these birds just would not have survived, I don't think, this year. They certainly wouldn't have raised the broods, and I think they're on their second clutches now.
Yes,
certainly saw a brood of young on the wall the other day when I was past. So, but anyway, let's talk about badgers then. So, how many hides are on badgers? Have you just the one now?
No, well, I've actually got 3 effectively about the same place. I've got a backlit one, reflection pool one, and a forest floor one. Oh, and the daytime one, 4.
Yeah.
Four in the same rough area.
Yeah, see, a lot of people just think of badgers as like animals that come out at night, but in actual fact, they come out in good light. And I've spent probably over 50 years following badgers, often on my hands and knees, I must admit. But I've also been out, started off back in the early days. It was just a torch with a red bit of film over the front.
So
then I progressed up to some other night vision, and now it's state-of-the-art thermal. Yeah. And let's be controversial right from the start, then, because all this nonsense that they're eating all the hedgehogs is not what we see. I've seen hedgehogs and badgers in the same area night after night, and they do not seem to be bothered with each other.
Well, I've been over 50 years in the field. I've never seen a skinned hedgehog.
No.
I'm not saying it doesn't happen.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm not saying it doesn't happen. And, because of thermal now, when we were running nocturnal wildlife tours, it was the only animal we could actually guarantee people to see between April and October. And we did 7 national TV appearances, and that was the only one we could say we'll definitely see one.
Hedgehogs.
And each presenter said the same. Oh, we thought these were rare, and they maybe are rare in some areas, but we had a thermal camera on the roof of the Land Rover, so we could see them in the fields. It wasn't just in one area; it was all around the countryside, round about Castle Douglas area. So there's not that rare here, and as long as people don't feed too much pesticides into their garden, slug pellets and things like that, and leave areas where they can move through. In fact, my daughter's got one at her house, my sister's got one at her house, we're young at the moment, and my niece has got one at her house in Castle Douglas, and they all live in separate areas. So these are different hedgehogs. So they're out there, so hopefully we'll see them. But anyway, I actually made some notes, more for questions for Alan to test his skills here. What's their primary food source?
Earthworms, they eat that mostly. Invertebrates and earthworms.
They reckon their food's about 80% earthworms. That said, anything they stumble across, if they stumble across a ground nesting bird, yes, they'll take it. But of course, there's not as many ground nesting birds as there used to be, and as controversial as it's going to sound, certainly I'm only talking about round about me, or I can only account for what I see. And silage has been the biggest downfall to lapwing, red shank, curlew, all these things.
And things,
and it's not the farmers' fault. The farmers are there to make a living, but some of the areas that I know, the hedges were ripped out to make bigger fields, the nows were taken away. to make silage, and they've got to be so maybe they should be subsidising the farmers to give us a wider field margin or something. Don't, because that's why there's so many red kites following the silage machines, and you can't blame the guys. The guys that are in cutting them are there doing a job, and they've got the state-of-the-art machinery that can go like the clapper. So they can't help. They don't know if there's rabbits, hares, fox, cubs, deer, anything lying in there, but unfortunately they will go through the chopper, and then that's why the birds of prey are running about catching up on them. In fact, a friend of mine who drives one of these tractors says the red kites seem to follow them from field to field.
Yeah, they're not stupid.
They're not stupid, and
And they're not there for the cut grass.
No, they're not there for the cut grass. It's just one of those things, and it's the way the countryside is changing, and some wildlife is struggling more than others. That said, and I'll put up a picture now of what I think is one of the best hedges, because the hedges in Dumfries and Galloway are abysmal, to say the least. But there's one farmer just near where I live, and he has, more than one good hedge, but I'll show you one example where it's huge hedge, and he still cuts it, but it's cut sympathetically, and I think this year it's barley that's on either side. There are no silage fields, and it's absolutely alive with small passerine birds. There's yellowhammer, dunnock, song thrush, blackbird. All the birds that you'd expect to see are there, and it's great to see that.
I know a farmer called Dan up at Castle Creevy, and he's really nature friendly.
Yeah.
So they're not all bad.
No, I don't think there's any of them bad. It's just they've changed to the farming method that they need to produce the silage to feed the cattle in the winter.
Yeah.
But it'd be nice.
In turn, your silage in fields is ideal habitat for badgers.
Yeah. Oh, badgers love silage.
So they're increasing in numbers because of the habitat. There's nothing else. Crows, pigeons, badgers. Yeah, the number one beneficiaries from silage fields.
Yeah, because they're full of invertebrates, slugs and snails, and badgers love them. And anything that the kites and that don't pick up meat-wise, the badger will hoover that up at night. Yeah. So if we'll see what happens. But anyway, I've made some notes for the day. Badgers are actually surprisingly clean animals. You'll know that in your sets.
Oh, they've got their own latrines, haven't they? They go away for the set, and they clean each other, groom each other all the time,
and they change the bedding.
Probably nightly, I would guess.
Pretty much, certainly once they're young, because the badgers will mate at like any time of the year, but they've got this delayed implantation. So certainly up here, and I'm only speaking for what I know locally, that most will be born February into March. Yeah. So when do you see them above ground?
They're just coming up this week. They've started showing the cubs.
Oh, right. Because normally I would think early May that I would see the first cubs poking their nose up above ground, but they don't go far for the set in the early days.
Well, that's in daylight hours.
In daylight,
at night time, they're probably at the start of May they were coming out.
Yeah, I have a tendency to call Alan Dr. Doolittle because he can just stand at the side of the set and almost whistle on them, and the blooming things come out.
I can whistle them at 11 o'clock in the morning, and chuck nuts and they come out.
They come out and feed on the peanuts, so it's quite funny to watch. Yeah, Dr. Doolittle. But it doesn't always happen. Certainly mine often come out very late on at night. And when I spend a lot of time crawling on my hands and knees following them, they get that used to that you can crawl on your hands and knees for like over an hour and all you see is its back end. Yeah. They're so used to you being there. You stand up, they don't like that. They don't like the shape of the human. But if you're down low, but they'll come up and they'll urinate in your weltons. That's you one of the clan then.
The sight's terrible, isn't it?
Oh yeah, the sight's terrible, but they've got good hearing and the old nose works. Yeah. But I know one night I was crawling along and I used my camera bag as a tripod, so I just rest the camera on that. And this badger who had been following for ages decided he would turn and come back. And I thought, uh-oh. So I just slid the camera off the top of the camera bag. So he puts his paws up in it, and I kid you not, he was 12 inches. In fact, it's a phone picture. I'll stick it up. It's a phone picture that I took on my phone because the camera just wouldn't focus that close.
Because they're notoriously difficult animals. I mean,
I've
had loads of failures with sets. Maybe 80%, you just give up.
Yeah, some of them can be wary, and as I say, others, I think it depends if they've had bad experiences.
I think so.
But yeah. And as I say, although people think they're nocturnal, they're out regular in good light. I've had them in the middle of the day. Yeah. The first badger I ever saw was in the middle of the day, about lunchtime it was, years ago. Right. I don't know why it was out wandering about that time of the day.
Probably hunger.
Could have been, yeah, because remember that really good summer, remember that good summer, that must have been ages ago. But yeah, all the sets that I sort of regularly go to, which is about 4 or 5 of them, they all lost their cubs that year. There was just not enough earthworms, and she probably just couldn't produce enough milk.
Well, luckily my sets, I feed them every day.
Yeah.
So the cubs are thrive there. So.
Yeah, so, which is good. Some of the talk experiences all night about badgers, but I remember one years ago down at the farm where my father-in-law worked, and I used to use a rechargeable torch. Rule number 1, never use a rechargeable torch, because that night I was sitting watching them, and it's got this red filter on, and all of a sudden it just went out.
Pitch black.
And it was pitch black, and I thought, uh-oh, and I've got about a mile to walk back to the farm. But he always leaves the kitchen light on for me. But what he said that night was, remember the bulls in the field. But he says, you're fine, it's way up at the top end near the big house. Oh, that's fine. Walking across the field, total darkness, trip, bump. Oh, and all I felt was this hot air. The big bull. He never even got up. No, but I did.
I'm not keen.
And I was back at that house in record time that night. But yeah, it's really good fun. And as I say, none of them, no two are the same.
No.
So yeah, it's go out there, and if you've got a set local to you, as long as you keep the wind in your face most of the time.
Yeah, low profile.
But with Dr. Doolittle, you don't need that.
No.
Because years ago we were up the tree.
I was smoking, wasn't it, at the time?
And I said, there's somebody coming. How? I said, I can smell smoke. No, it's me. And normally, smoke like that and badgers would run. But no, they come and they're just...
You have to shout at mine to get their heads up sometimes.
Yeah.
Come on, get up.
Yeah. But the one I probably is the most iconic that I remember is the reflection pool. I still think that's one of
amazing shots.
Yeah. And there was that night I was in, and I kid you not, it must have been 100 degrees. It was a rare warm summer's night, and the badger came, and it's only, 12 feet long, that pool?
About 18.
Oh, 18. And you could hear it slurping away, and the sweat's burned in me. You could hardly see through the viewfinder to get a picture, but I've got ones just to the head, and they never bother.
Lucky getting that shot.
Yeah. Oh, aye, yeah.
Danny Green had done 14 nights in a row to get it drinking.
Oh, right.
And it was the last night he got it drinking.
Right. I was just there that one night, and it must have drunk gallons of water that night. I could have done some myself because I'd run out of my water by that time. But yeah, and badgers are deceiving creatures. So, how big would you say the big badger is?
Oh, what was this now? Well, 3.5 feet maybe.
Yeah, just about 3 feet. If you include the tail, because the tail, if we're talking all money, is about 4 or 6 inches long. So yeah, I remember the biggest boar that I ever saw, and he was a big fella, and I saw him straight on looking at me. But people think they're big, aggressive creatures. But they're not. They're
timid,
not. You know, I've been face to face with them on numerous occasions, and they're more scared of you than.
No. They would never attack a dog or a human out of unless it was cornered by a dog
or injured or something like that. Yeah, or if somebody dog went down a badger hole, then if you put a badger into a corner, 9 times out of 10, whatever it is, could lose the fight quite easily.
Yeah.
But no, I must admit, badgers are certainly one of my favourite animals, and because I spent a lot of time working on owls, you came across badgers. But as I say, it's 50 years plus now since I probably went out to do my first badger watch, which is it's quite an experience, because you're sitting there almost getting darker, and you keep imagining the white stripe coming out of the hole, and then he appears, and it's just a quick sniff of the air, and it's usually the boar that will come out and do that, and then he'll disappear back down, and he seems to tell the rest of the clan to come out.
It's safe to go.
Yeah.
I remember one time there was a woman sitting at the hide, and I says, let it come out before you take photos, let it start feeding. I was standing behind her, and so it came out. I waited a minute, I tapped her, I was right, photos, take photos now. No photos, she was just sitting there with her hands like that. I tapped, take some photos, it's okay. She turned around and she was absolutely crying out, "This is the best thing I've ever seen in my life. I'm so emotional. How can people hurt these things?" It was a great feeling for me to see somebody getting so emotional about a badger, but it's a great thing to see.
Yeah, but we a similar thing when we were doing nocturnal wildlife tours. We had what was she? She was a PhD student from Edinburgh doing some ecology thing, and she came out with us, Cowan and I, and I said to her, when we could see a badger away in the distance, and it was actually a hedgehog in the shot as well. Don't know if I've still got that footage. And I said to her, "Can you get over a gate okay in the dark?" She said, "Yes." So we got over, and there's a badger out there, and there's a hedgehog coming up to it. I says, "We'll go and have a look and see it." And I said, "Just hold your thermal up to your eye and keep walking. It's a flat field, you won't trip up." And off she went, and I stopped Cowan, and she didn't know that she was walking off her cell, and you could see her turning around going like this. Where are they? Where are they? And she walked right up, and she must have been 2 feet for them. It was actually kicking up soil. It was hitting her. And again, she come back, and she said that was the best. And she had tears in her eyes.
Aye.
Best wildlife experience. And she says, "When I go back, my lecturer will not believe what I've just seen."
Right.
And I said, "Yeah, he will, because we've filmed it, and we'll send you the film."
Oh, God.
So everything on the cameras could be recorded. So that was another. And we've had numerous stories like that with people out with looking at badgers.
Going back to the badger hedgehog thing, your friend's got footage of the badger and the hedgehog side by side.
Yeah. I've asked them to look at it. Hopefully they've still got it, because they've a tendency not to keep the footage. But every night their trail camera's out, and night after night they get the badger and the hedgehog in the same shot. So if there was any controversy between the two, they would have had it by now. So why would it still be coming, the two of them, weeks after the first arrived? But anyway, it's one of these things. The other thing, do you see many snuffle holes?
Oh, aye, yeah.
Yeah, because I know somebody said to me that, they've been eating the bees' nest, which they will do. But what they showed me were actually snuffle holes for worms. Yeah, and you can it's just a circular hole, and they can almost suck them out of it, because the compression that they can put onto it when they're down there. And I'll see what else I've got in my notes. I forgot to ask you all your questions. Yeah, they're quite vocal.
Oh, very noisy, especially territorial battles are quite...
Are you going to do an impression?
No, really. No. If you hear me snoring, you might get it.
Speaking about impressions, maybe we should move away. Maybe we should move away and tell you this. But there's been a couple of comments that they said, "Are you sure that's Alan that's with you?" And I said, "Yeah. How? What? He looks like Buster."
Who's Buster?
Buster. Do you know what Mrs. Brown's boys?
No.
Well, you need to then.
Never seen it in my life.
I'll try and... Oh, have you not?
Nah.
I'll show you.
Buster.
Buster, yeah. And he's quite a character, so it matches.
Is he fat?
It matches.
Because I'm losing weight.
It matches you. I said I wouldn't. Thomas, I've not got his Buster laugh.
I'll be straight home to YouTube to see this.
I'll look it up in a minute and show it to you.
It doesn't sound very cool.
Oh, yes. He's the main man in the programme.
Right.
So, yeah, it wouldn't be the same with him. Yeah. So, any questions? When's the best time to come to badgers? Because you're
now.
Now.
All summer. Right,
all summer.
Right to September now. They're guaranteed 100%. I put my house in it with customers now. I say, if you didn't get badgers, you can have my house.
Right.
It's that guaranteed. Yeah.
Right.
5 o'clock start daytime, they're out within 10 minutes.
So what about in the winter then? Nothing?
Winters they come, but it's a tough shift, and it's like 3 hours after that, and it's cold.
Because they don't hibernate, but they will go into a kind of torpor state like us if it's too cold. And often you'll see fresh bedding being taken in and out in the winter, and that's them, whether they know the weather better than us, and they're getting some insulation down into the hole. But the other thing that I have a picture of it, but it's on slides, so I can't really show them it. And I know years ago a fellow ranger up in Lanarkshire spent the night up a tree to try and get a picture, because badgers will make nests outside at the bottom of a tree, big rings of grass.
I found one.
Yeah, I found one, but I've never ever got. He slept up the tree to get a photograph of a badger, and he did it night after night, and he finally got a picture of the badger. So I think they must get too far away for the set.
Or kicked out, maybe.
Yeah, kicked it. Well, some of the sort of young males will get put out. And it decided to sleep in there, and it looked so bizarre. This great big nest. Because when I first found it, I thought, what on earth is that? And there was badger hair in it, so that's what led me to that. And then there was no Google back in them days, but I spoke to one or two people, and that's what they're saying. Yeah, they will make these big nests, and a single animal will sleep in it. So it was really good to see.
Photograph. I never thought about that.
Yeah, there's a chance for you.
We've only ever found one.
And you need to be a better hide that you can sleep in. I think he was just sitting up the tree. But yeah, the other day there, I saw something on, what was it on? It came up on YouTube about this guy. He was sitting, and I thought it was absolutely, well, I thought it was hilarious to start with, and then I thought, well, it's downright sad. That wildlife photographer UK or whatever he is, with the badger, the fox cubs, I should say. Aye, this guy, he was sitting all camouflaged up in his camera, and he's talking to the camera, obviously, and you could see the wind was blowing away from the scrimp net that was over it, so it was blowing that way. And he said, I was sitting here waiting on 2 o'clock, it was 2 in the afternoon, looking at going to photograph fox cubs. And I thought, when he put the pictures up, I thought, wait a minute,
aye,
that's for your hide.
I know.
So I spoke to you, and you said, yeah, they were filmed at the hide. So it wasn't it, and he kept making out that he was sitting there, and he got very excited, and he got down behind the camera. And I thought, what a fraud!
I know, it totally annoyed me that. I mean, when you come to my hides, you put stuff on, you're not at liberty to say where you got them.
Yeah.
You don't put stuff on and pretend that you found them yourself and you're doing it yourself.
Yeah, it was
just
really
bizarre. Like, what?
Yeah, I can't believe that someone
went to the trouble of putting all the stuff on.
Yeah,
and what did they say at the end? I can talk now.
Aye, they could talk.
That's not what you do at a
No,
fox.
No. If you were filming photo, you wouldn't talk until you were miles
so you're back to your car.
Aye,
it was total misinformation and bad information.
I just can't believe anyone would do that. I don't know why you just didn't say, I've had a great experience with fox cubs, and I'm sitting just at the bottom of the tree and talk to the camera.
Aye.
But to sit there as if he was actually in the hide, I just found so strange. It's just...
He just asked questions about his other videos as
well.
Aye, yeah. What's real and what's not.
Yeah, well, it just wouldn't Bill.
But anyway.
I mean, other people that I don't know, but I just found that one, rather bizarre, to say the least. And it's a great experience sitting with these fox cubs, and, you know, some of the information. It's entitled An Evening with Fox Cubs. And then he says it's there, it happens 2 in the afternoon.
There's a lot of holes in that video.
Yeah, we'll try not to make that mistake. If we make add-ins into the video, we'll try and make them genuine.
And while we're on about YouTubers, we'll have to discuss the other ones that go around hides and do their pieces. There's I get a lot of people asking me to kind of come to your hides, make some YouTube videos. Good YouTubers, and I'll give you free promotion if you give them for free. And I always say, no, I don't need your promotion. But what they do is they go to other hides, inferior hides that are absolutely, with perches that I wouldn't put in a campfire, terrible backgrounds and all this. Free. They've obviously got it free, and nothing negative the whole video. It's total lies.
Yeah.
If you're a good photographer, you just need to look at the pictures in the video and say that's not a good hide, but they're never going to say bad things. And what people see this and go to the hides and get a bad experience.
Yeah.
But it really, really boils me.
My bugbear is cut off perches that don't look natural. Yeah, because people know that when they're photographing from, say, one of your hides, that you look sympathetic at the perches in the background, so that they get a pleasing image. Because if you see, we want to hang a picture on the wall or make a calendar for charities or whatever, you don't want a silly looking cut off perch with a chainsaw.
No,
with a bird sitting on the top.
It looks terrible.
You want it look aesthetically as natural as possible. And well, if you didn't know, that's what happens at hides. You've got feeders and you've got perches, so that you get a nice shot of the bird. If you can photograph it in the peanuts if you want, but you'll get it on the actual perch, which makes it nice. And the perches can be seasonal. And you know, don't think that's easy. The fact that there's a perch, you've got to get the bird to land where you want it to land. You've got to be paying attention when it does land there. It may only land there for half a second before it goes on to the feeder. So getting the good shot, or one where the eye is where you want it to be, and the bird's not moving, or if you get it fast enough shutter speed, you might get it in flight. So all that is where the skill comes in. You're just providing they're providing the tools, you're providing the place for them to come and do it. And it will make you a better photographer, because if you learn to react and not twitch your camera like this back and forward when you're, say, in your own hide, even if it's in your back garden or out and about, you're walking about and you've got your camera in your hand, you see a bird, you know exactly what you're going to do with your equipment. It almost becomes second nature. So it is.
And what's their behaviour? Because the birds mostly do the same thing time and time when they start a cycle or come into a feeder. They usually come the same flight path.
Yeah.
And just picking up things like that to help you.
Yeah, and that's where it comes into knowing your equipment. And I know you had somebody arrived and their camera was still in the box. It had never been out of the box.
Sony, and I know nothing about Sony.
No. I use Sony. And Nico, I'm not brand faithful. I use whatever needs to do the job. That's.
I just like to get back to YouTube. I was saying bad about YouTube, but they're not all bad. Likes of Mike Lane. He came to my hides, paid the full price, gave his review. He was entitled to do bad, but he did a good review.
Yeah.
But you can tell he's good because he pays for his hides, so he can say negative if he wants to without any comeback for the. So just be careful what ones you watch and what you believe.
Yeah. But if anybody's come to your hides, they're all different. You know, we're in the Kingfisher one the day because the rest of them are all full. And you know, years ago when I used to sit in a toilet tent, for want of a better description, I used to sit in a bucket. We're sitting in gaming chairs, which is comfort, but they're not central heated, so it does get cold in the winter. But there's room above us. You can stand up and walk about. You're not through glass either. You're through scrimp netting, so you lift it up and put your camera underneath. I don't know if I would like to photograph through glass.
I don't. You're straight on. If anything happens left or right, you're goose.
Yeah.
Plus, you're losing your stop as well.
I like to be able to see, and I think if you were too enclosed, I like to hear what's going on, because often you'll hear an animal or a bird before it comes, and if you're sort of transfixed in one spot, you might miss something. Like the sparrowhawk, you usually get some warning. The wee birds will start either getting twitchy or they'll fly off, and if they come back quickly, then it wasn't a sparrowhawk. It's just things like blackbirds seem to erupt for no particular reason. But once the sparrowhawk's about, you'll get an idea, so you could get focused on the perch that you think is going to land on, and you might get a shot at it.
It's all part of the experience, the hearing as well as the seeing.
Yeah. And you get to know calls, because birds they've got obviously the song, but they make so many contact calls or scolding calls or warning calls for predators, and you learn that by sitting in a hide and just listening, and not playing on your phone, because if you play on your phone, you'll miss it.
Oh, I've had that before. Like a robin is for an alarm call, it's high pitched if it's an aerial predator, so a high pitched noise they can't dictate where they're coming from.
Right.
If it's a ground predator, that's tick 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 tick, because they know it can't. They make themselves known where they are.
Right.
Totally two different alarm calls for the same bird, depending on which predator it is.
Yeah.
And you remember the heated jackets and everything nowadays, there's no excuse for being cold.
Yeah.
I use a camping stove in the winter.
There's plenty of room, you can have your flask with you or whatever. And they're comfortable hides as well. And I've never had a problem. Some people suffer from cold feet, but my feet, it's not an issue I ever had. But these have got carpets on the floor, so it's not as if you're sitting with your feet in wet mud or anything like that. No. And as I say, they're all slightly different. Some have got plates in them, so you only need to bring your tripod head, or just bring a beanbag. In fact, the odd one has a beanbag in it. Let me see if there's any in this one today. One in the corner, just in case somebody was to forget them. But again, the key thing is to speak to Alan if you're coming to one of the hides, and he will tell you. Most of them are very close to a road or a parking space where you'll be, but he'll keep you right as to what sort of footwear you need, whether you just walk in boots or whether you'll need weltons, whether you need a tripod plate or a beanbag.
Mostly it's covered on the website, each individual hide page.
Yeah, so make sure you check that out on the...
But Barn Owls isn't on yet. You've got Barn Owls going now.
That was some night the other night we were in.
Oh, didn't it?
Yeah. We had a trial run before Alan opened it up to the public just to see. or to check that the birds were actually going to come, and it did, and it put on a great show that night.
Good show last night as well.
In fact, you were lucky when you went down into the grass and you got it
coming out,
taken off out of the grass. But again, if you're going to things like that, and we've got a dodgy light flashing on.
I'll stop in a second. Telling you there's an hour left.
All right, so if you're going to the likes of the Barnell, is it bookable?
I thought it's an email only.
Email only, that one.
Yeah, you'll get my email off the website.
Any idea how long you think it'll last?
Well, another 3 weeks to fledging. They're going to be. It's 2 weeks after that they hang about. Then we're into unknown territory. Right. I'm sure the adults will still roost in the box. Yeah. But we're just going to have to wait. It's a wait and see job. The next 5 weeks should be good. Yeah. Guaranteed. Then it's just a wait and see.
Yeah, and it doesn't land just on the one perch. There's 2 or 3 perches there that it can land on. Yeah. And
it comes back and forward as well to the box and back to the perch. Yeah. So it's quite good.
And you supply the flashes and that for. Yeah. But once I would say, if you're going to that, and if you don't normally use flash and Alan supplying it, look at your, try and find out how your camera works with flashes, because a lot of these mirrorless now don't always work straight away when you plug a flash onto it, or a connector on the top that will trigger the flash, especially if you're using electronic shutters. If it's using silent shutters, very few of them will fire a flash, so you need to be able to know how to put it back onto manual, and also to change the live view on your camera. So
I know most of them.
Yeah, I'll know, but if you could learn that out beforehand, if you get the chance, it's worth learning. Even if you've just got a wee pop-up flash that you stick on the top of your camera before you use Alan's, then it would certainly help you understand how that particular model, because every camera manufacturer seems to make them differently, or call what you need to do differently.
Even if you've got a wee cheap camera, you can shoot under lights, so it's permanently lit. Yes. So you can shoot under lights. Cause I get a lot of people that say, "Oh, I'm not want to come because I'm not a professional photographer." You don't have to be. No. Any level, you can come.
Yeah, and that's a lot of people don't understand that it's. You can have as basic a camera as you want. Yeah. If you were just shooting under lights, you just shoot with high ISO, because you're not sitting in total darkness spearing it into the dark looking for a barn to land. You'll see it. There's lights. It's the same lights that we're using to light us just now in the hide. So there is low-level lights there, so you can see anything that's happening. You'll see all the moths that are flying back and forward, the bats that will go back and forward, and then the owl when it appears in. So yeah, you've got a good experience, even if it's just a wildlife experience of seeing barn owls. That's another, because some people have done that before. They've came just to look at otters or badgers or whatever. They don't necessarily want to photograph them. They just want the experience of seeing them.
I had a couple other day at Red Start. Get out the car. Did I tell you a story?
Yeah.
Just Red Start. That's number 428 or something. Tick. That's it. I just wanted to see a Red Start to tick it off their British list.
Yep. Didn't they photograph it or nothing?
I was shooting for a wee while with a camera, but they were just there 10 minutes or something. Right. Unbelievable.
No, I was never into being a twitcher. I'd rather go and enjoy the wildlife, not been there, done that. No, that's just doesn't appeal to me in any way whatsoever. So what else is on the go with the hides at the moment then?
Working well. Kingfishers was just starting to come back.
I've not heard it today. We're sitting at the Kingfisher hide.
It's due to fledge today, I think. Right. Green woodpecker's nearly finished. I was there this morning for an hour and got a good few shots. Fox cubs are still going. I don't know how long they're going to be.
So the badgers coming out of the fox cubs as well this year then?
Nah, about 8:30 they come out. The foxes come out early, then the badger appears. Day badgers are going great. Night badgers are going great. Pine martens showing in daytime a lot at the Sparrowhawk hide. You get Sparrowhawk there, buzzards, red squirrels there as well. My red squirrel designated hide's a bit slow at the moment. But like you say, the Red Start's still working, but that'll probably be another few days.
Will it do a second brood then, right?
Well, I'm hoping so. It did last year, so... Well, I've got a dipper in the second brood, just found this morning.
That's good.
Feeding young now, so dipper's open for 2 weeks if anybody's interested in that. I get a lot of interest in that, but because of nesting, it's only a short window.
Yeah, aye.
So, it's all good. But I'm going on holiday in 2 weeks, so Yeah, with my son looking after me.
You just got to say, Leighton will keep these all sorted out.
I'm running on empty now. 12 kilo I've lost in 5 weeks.
Right? Yeah, because May and June will just be
crazy.
24 hours a day.
I did a 16-hour shift the other day, sort of watched Scotland at 4 in the morning, 2 hours sleep.
Well, that was a waste of time.
Well, at least they won, but it wasn't a great game.
They just need to learn to pass forward.
Exactly.
But anyway, we will see. When's the next game anyway? Is it Sunday? Saturday?
Friday.
Friday?
Aye.
Oh well. Morocco, that's a different story. We won't get into football on the podcast.
So there might not be a podcast for it, might be a wee break now.
Yeah. Well, this one will be online in the next couple of days, so we're filming it on whatever day we are. What day of the week is this? Tuesday. Hopefully by the end of the week.
We could maybe do a live link for Thailand to do the next one.
My technology is not that good. I don't know how we do that. There must be a way. There'll be a way to do it. Yeah, get some exotic birds in your garden there. Get some minor birds or something like that.
I've got a minor bird in my nest box.
Yeah. Can you bring a couple of them back? They'd be quite nice to have over here.
Okay.
So anyway, I think that is probably enough for today. So we've covered badgers, and we will have a different subject for discussion, and maybe hear a wee bit about Alan's trip to Thailand.
What happens in Thailand stays in Thailand.
Right. I mean birds.
Oh, right.
Feathered birds.
Oh, right, that's so. We'll talk about it then.
Yeah. So, anyway, thanks for watching. So, until the next time, it's goodbye from me.
It's goodbye from me. Thanks very much.